Mein erstes World Cup Rennen in La Torche bin ich mit einem serienmäßigen Epoxy.
In my first World Cup race in La Torche, I sailed on a production Epoxy Lightning and finished third in one race. Of course, I was very happy about this result. The Lightning is a very competitive race board, and I will always use it for course racing in flat water. During our training here on Maui, Hawaii, we continuously sail and test F2 production material and expose it to hard conditions. Our experiences on Maui are most important for further development and improvement of all F2 equipment. The Lightning is the displacement board in our line. Due to its volume, it is the ideal board for heavy surfers or light wind. In 1984, half of a total of 36 European Cup finalists sailed on a Lightning, and during the famous hook-in and hold-on race, 500 kilometers across the Caribbean, Lightning sailors were superior to the displacement hulls of the Division II. During the Professional World Cup, the Lightning also was the only production board which could join in the leading group in flat water conditions. Although it meets the highest demands, the Lightning suits a fun board learner better than a so-called beginner board. With the new Prolite technology, Lightning, Strato, Comet, and Bullet became even lighter and stiffer. Our approved combination cut has been further optimized and will be delivered in dual film mylar only. On top, we have our latest development, the wing cut sails for even more power, and the radical cut for high wind and waves. Despite the great variety of our sails, they all fit on our well-adjusted mast program.
The Strato is a very good board for the summer months here on Maui because the winds here are often strong and offshore. This means you have to go out pretty far past the break to get into any good winds. The Strato excels in these conditions because of its narrow V tail, which makes it very fast and controllable, even in Viewport 6. And with the mast track moved back, it makes the board very maneuverable for jibing and riding the outside swells. Of course, none of this really matters if you can't get back in, and here again the Strato excels. You just move the mast track forward, kick the dagger board down, and soon you're planing upwind towards shore effortlessly.
The new Strato was tested in the summer of '84 on Maui. Its Quattro concave underwater line enables very early planing. Its thick rails for good upwind characteristics and jibing. And the scoop rocker line is trimmed for the highest speed on broad reaching. With a volume of 200 liters, the Strato is also a suitable fun board for middle and heavy weight, if you make some allowances for light air conditions. The new wing-cut sails, the prototypes of which you can see here during the test weeks on Maui, but also the big combination cut sails, generate so much power that the planing phase starts about 1 wind force earlier. The track, of course, considerably contributes to this. On all courses, the foot of the sail must be as close as possible to the board. The Comet is a board for everyone. Measuring only 3.25 meters in length, you can sail it as radically as wind and waves allow. At the same time, it is an all-round fun board for board sailors under 65 kilograms, since it has enough volume and a dagger board.
Der Komet ist ein Brett, das man fast unter
The Comet is a board for almost all conditions, and therefore I believe that it is suited to a wide range of board sailors. I sail the Comet, for instance, in course races when the wind is really strong, the upwind course rather short, and the beam reaching rather long. The F2 mast foot has been improved once more. It is now suitable for custom boards. With a new clip system, you can easily adapt the extension to either track or Skeg box system. We have switched to the Skeg box system on all our short epoxy boards. Like the tires on a car, the skegs on a surfboard decide the road holding qualities and the final speed. F2 has initiated R&D for skegs years ago and has not stopped research on the spin-out phenomenon since then. F2's latest development is the twist skeg, which adapts its own angle of attack to the water current at increased speed and therefore delays spin-out. Resistance, buoyancy, anti-spin-out profile, and stiffness have been optimized by scientific tests. We reshaped the 1985 Bullet and put it to the most intensive test on Maui all summer through. We wanted to combine the latest findings for a quick slalom board with the qualities of an all-round floater. The new Bullet is even faster than the old one, especially in close reaching and going to weather. The Bullet is an all-out attractive board for sinker beginners and also for the expert, a secret weapon for slalom races. Although F2 ASA boards were already the stiffest on the market, we kept on improving the stiffness of our boards. We experimented with stringers for more than 2 years and now found a solution. Between EPS core and ASA skin, we put a pre-impregnated fiberglass fabric. During the molding process under great heat, it turns into a stiff laminate, melting the skin onto the core. This laminate allows us to reduce the ASA skin thickness and thereby save about 20% of the weight. We call this new technology Prolite. Prolite boards are considerably stiffer and lighter than ASA boards, and thereby faster and more agile.
Der Sunset ist ein sehr
Our Sunset is a very agile and fast fun board. It is trimmed for speed and slalom races. It is also a very good and controllable jumping board. We all use it for slalom and top races. In La Torche, my first World Cup race, I finished 10th on a stock Sunset. During the '84 Speed Week in Weymouth, England, the Sunset was faster than any gun or speed board going for the production board record. With 27,8 knots, which means over 50 kilometers an hour, Axel Alm set up a convincing new world record for production boards. His time was the 7th best in Weymouth. All other sailors with even better times used special boards without practical value. They all had special wing masts or monstrous sails and were specialists who have made speed races their profession. F2 has also improved its epoxy technology. For the first time, we succeeded in covering epoxy boards with a thermoplastic coating which finally solved the problem of splitting gel coat. The skin of the F2 epoxy boards is now 3 times as impact resistant as before. Using unidirectional cloth and carbon fibers has improved the stiffness and stencil strength of the epoxy board so much that Starlet, Sunset, and Bullet now survive the highest jumps in the surf. The combination of thermoplastic skin, epoxy foam, and carbon is the new state-of-the-art. We also set new standards with our sailcloth. We developed a new mylar fabric in cooperation with our cloth manufacturer, Polyant. The idea was to improve the tear resistance of our duo-film mylar for very hard conditions in the surf. Therefore, a very fine fabric was put between the mylar films to enable seam stitching. To avoid bigger tears, a strong polyester thread stops the ripping. This new F2 ripstop mylar has considerable advantages over existing mylar materials.
fahre den Starlet in eure Funboard Cups.
I sail the Starlet in Euro Funboard Cups and also World Cups. In Scheveningen, I placed first in wave riding. I am convinced about the Starlet. It is a real radical board, but also very easy to sail compared to other competitive wave boards. Being only a little slower than the Sunset, the Starlet is even more maneuverable and radical to sail. It is our board for waves and freestyle. No matter if you want to ride the wave or practice the 360, the Starlet is the right compromise for continental wind conditions. In the first third, its mono-concave hull changes over into a distinct V. Its width of 62 centimeters makes for early planing and a long planing phase in maneuvers. Being equipped with 3 skegs in thruster position, the Starlet is very maneuverable, whereas with one big middle skeg, it is also competitive in slalom races. Sunset and Starlet are produced only in epoxy carbon. The sandwich technology of EPS core, epoxy foam laminate, and thermocoating result in figures of stiffness, impact resistance, and weight, which could only be dreamed of until now. Both boards have now a skeg box as mass foot system instead of the track. Moreover, the rear middle skeg box is now longer to fit custom polyester skegs. The foot strap position has been optimized, and the straps themselves are height adjustable. Both boards come with a 1-year warranty. Go for the highest jumps. You can't break it.